country that offer nothing to us in exchange for it, especially when they come from terror-laden countries. And that's where the vetting, that's where the president's right on this. I'm all for healthy immigration. I don't like the lotto, which is basically hit or miss. And by the way, the documentation that comes over from Kazakhstan and all these other places, Uzbekistan, you can't buy this. Papers can be fabricated. How do you validate computer systems when they don't even have all the records? It's like Syrian refugees. We don't even know who they really are. Pam Bondi was so livid here in the state that I do this broadcast from, Florida. And Rick Scott, when they dumped them all off here before Obama got out, we got tens of thousands of them. We don't even know anything about them. That's the kind of vetting that the left likes to do. Just let them come in. Let the pieces fall where they may. Who cares? If they hate our country, that don't like our country, I care. And guess what? A lot of the deplorables that voted for Donald Trump, and mind you, a lot of level-headed independents and Democrats do too. It's not anti-patriotic, not anti-American not to want to make sure what we're getting into. It's kind of like a relationship. You ask questions. You want to know certain things about an individual, given the climate that we're in. Folks, this is the thinking. And I believe this is where Donald Trump's coming from. Should we not do a better job and do everything we possibly can, kind of like aircraft? What do? We screen everybody. Everybody takes their shoes off. Everybody gets their luggage scanned. Because everybody's flying in that plane. If we thought about the same thing with security, okay, folks, this is the rational thinking that I'm trying to just convey here. With the vetting process in our country, we would have a much safer country. Instead, you have a plethora of liberal ideologists in key positions as mayors and governors around our country that continue to allow the insanity to cesspool in cities near you because they have a bleeding heart. I have a good heart, but I have a sensible heart. I'm not a doormat. And America doesn't need to be that either. You know, protecting this country, if it's called nationalism, so be it. Put America first, fix America first. If that's nationalism, count me in. Just don't call me a white supremacist. Don't tell me white privilege. There ain't nothing that privileged in my life. I've worked my butt off for everything I've ever had. And I've worked for a lot of minorities. And I've worked harder to prove myself for many, many markets that I was in. I'm tired of people trying to marginalize, because when people try to be rational, have a rational thought in them, then they got to be a racist because of it. And this is the death throes of the left. This is why they are where they're at. This is why Hillary Clinton lost the presidency. That's why people did not trust her. You know, there's only so much negativity that one can stand until finally they're like, God, I got to have a little good news here. I got to take a break from this, Hillary. I got to have a drink. I can't listen to you anymore. You ever listen to that voice of Hillary Clinton? Have you ever listened to the voice of Susan Warren? Maxine Waters, have you listened to their voices? I mean, it just rags on and just, oh my, it's negative. I mean, I got to put Norman Vincent Peale on tape, fire up my tape deck or my RPM, get it up to speed on my record player here to give me some positive motivation. It's just, again, the things that seem to be so sensible, But you know what it is? There are master connivers. They will put out anecdotal information, and they will quote sources that are theirs, never reveal who they are, just our sources said. We have studies that show, but they don't coincide with the national websites of those particular companies or the national polling companies, etc. Whoever's done it. Okay, who did the poll? Oh, let's see. CNN had 200 people in the focus group. CNN? You did a poll? I wonder what station they watch. Do you think that's a fair poll? Representation of all America? Give me a break. You know better, and I know better as well. When we come back, we're going to talk about Paul Manafort. Yeah, the guy who they're trying to get for all sorts of things right now. Been charged, hit yesterday, as you know, pretty hard. And after pleading not guilty to 12-count indictment, some updates on that, and keeping an eye on him. And they are, too. By the way, speaking about keeping an eye, I want you to get an eye on our coffee mug at our front page. If you've never visited forthepeopleshow.com online, please do it today on your mobile phone, on your Android device, on your iPad, or your desktop version. They all look sexy, but nothing looks sexier than the For the People coffee mug. It is our newly commissioned cup. We just put them for sale 2-3 weeks ago. But everybody that listens to the show should have the cup. And it's just basically your way of saying, hey, Keith, when you order one, thanks for doing the show. Thank you. I know that you don't receive a paycheck for doing the show. Nobody pays you. The network doesn't pay me that syndicates it. I do this. Listener supported. Right. No big checks. We are working with MyPillow. We should have some spots on soon. We'll be doing some endorsements from them, but luckily making a few bucks off the pillows, which were great, but there's only so many pillows you can sell. So between that and coffee cups and our membership online at forthepeopleshow.com, all of those will keep For the People on the air. So if you haven't bought it's 11 ounces, the coffee cup. It's white, ceramic coffee mug. For the People in red, white, and blue on both sides with my name on it, with Keith Allen. That's the name of the radio show. It'll remind you to tune in each day. And also, when you're listening to the show, it's a nice conversation piece as well. And you can share it with your liberal friends and your Republican friends or your independent friends, Tea Party friends, whoever. Share the show. And one thing that I hear that I'm always gratified about is they say, Keith, even from some of the most staunchest liberals, they say, I still listen to your show. I still listen. And believe me, I listen to a lot of leftist shows because I want to know where the left is coming from. It gives me ideas for the show it's creative, but there is not a hate in me. I love people no matter who they are, where they are from, unless they're terrorists, pedophiles, or doing something bad in society. But other than that, we can have some conversations because we can talk about something, can't we?
We'll help you survive. This thing called life, we're for the people, for the people, for the people, for the people is there.
It's unlike anything you've ever been through in your life, man. I was driving. This kid threw a grenade at us. It went right over our vehicle. It was 12 years old.
The shockwave went through my head, rattled up my brain, and left.
Danger is around you 360 degrees at all times, and you can't unlearn that.
It's impossible to describe the sacrifices these men and women have made to protect our freedoms. And the job of rebuilding their lives is massive and growing every day. Many will need the programs offered by the Wounded Warrior Project for years to come.
I didn't know what PTSD was. All I knew is I was having nightmares. And when I got released, my reintegration was go check in at the VA, man.
My first coping mechanism was use drugs. Just numb it. Don't feel anything.
I was angry. I'm trying to pull myself out of that right now.
Your gift today of $19 per month will honor and empower these veterans so they can aid and assist each other.
The Wounded Warrior Project is a life raft.
I can say this without question that I wouldn't be here today if it weren't for it.
Women Wear Project is the first step, getting back out into the world and reforming yourself outside of the service.
Call or go online with a pledge of $19 a month. You'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket, and your gift will provide critically needed programs that rebuild lives.
That was my first feeling of actually being a part of something bigger than myself again.
Well, I lost a few really close friends overseas, and if I quit, I'm going to let them down, and I'm not about to do that.
I'm learning to face my fears head on. To trust and see what happens at the end.
It's a long process, but I had the drive and desire.
Please, call or go online with your gift right now.
For the people is there.
Your American Heritage. The little horse carried its 9-year-old rider to the Indian mounds where the lad would dig for relics. Then it was home to study Latin, Greek, and French. As the years flew by, that boy invented our decimal system of coinage. He invented the weather vane, storm windows, a plow, a dumbwaiter elevator, and a clock that told both the hour and the day of the week. And as his shining intellect grew, he sharpened his quill, dipped it in ink, and began to scratch the words on parchment. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, and so on. This has been Don Keyes with a brief look at our third president, Thomas Jefferson, on Your American Heritage.
Your American Heritage can be heard Monday through Friday on this station or on your smartphone device.
Introducing the official For the People coffee mug, featuring the colorful red, white, and blue For the People logo with Keith Allen on a ceramic 11-ounce coffee mug, perfect for any hot beverage of your choice. This mug is a great reminder of what we stand for: God, country, and family, with conservative values and good old-fashioned common sense. To order your For the People coffee mug, pay just $20 plus $3.99 shipping and handling at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. And enjoy.
With all the choices out there to enjoy some entertainment, wouldn't it just be nice to have something that didn't cost an arm or a leg? I found something that does just that. It's called 123 Ready TV. It's one of the most remarkable apps available to start watching all of those movies and TV shows for one incredible price, just $19.99. And that's a one-time only price. Recap: all your movies, current and classic, and sports and news, and so much more. So cut the cable and stop spending money at the movies when you can truly have it all at your fingertips. No commercials, just all the entertainment you desire. 123 Ready TV is available for Windows and all Android devices. Get your 123 Ready TV for just $19.99 at forthepeopleshow.com. That's forthepeopleshow.com. Just click on the store page to get yours now and start enjoying entertainment the way it was supposed to be. Fun.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate online at carsforkids.com. That's cars with a K. Pickup is quick and easy. You'll get a vacation voucher and maximum tax deduction.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Keith Allen and For the People. Paul Manafort, considered a flight risk because of his mass wealth and foreign connections, according to special counsel, just one day after pleading guilty to 12 counts. It's a pretty big indictment of Paul Manafort, as you'd have to agree here, but major flight risk. They're kind of keeping an eye on him, make sure he don't skip out. According to court documents unsealed yesterday, prosecutors say they believe that Manafort, a former chairman of Donald Trump's 2016 presidential campaign, and his business associate, another one, Richard Gates, were at risk of fleeing. So both of them and the defendants pose a risk of flight based on the serious nature of the charges, their history of deceptive and misleading conduct, the potentially significant sentences the defendants face. and the strong evidence of guilt, their significant financial resources, and their foreign connections